Cool. Recording. And so it's kind of weird when we don't have everybody every week, but Aggie, I chatted with you. Kyle, did you get a chance to chat with Tammy over the week?
I did, yeah.
And it sounds like you guys are pretty much in constant from your little note. Awesome. She's a good gal.
She is.
So Aggie, unfortunately, like I said, I didn't get a chance to take a look at your video, but one of the things for this group is to practice so that you get more comfortable instead of practicing with live parties, because you don't have to be quite as nervous being kind of with us because we understand it. But the intent of the videos was to plant the booking seed because we talked about bookings last week. And I noticed, Kyle, you did everything great. And I'm just like, okay, when's she going to get there? When's she going to get there? When's she going to get there? And I didn't hear that booking seed. So maybe just a tidbit to add on, because you said, you know, we're going to see a lot of great things and all that. I go, okay, she's going to do it. Is you might just want to, just a quick little blurb like, hey, throughout Lisa's party this week, if you are seeing a whole bunch of fun stuff you want, but maybe your wish list is bigger than your wallet, consider booking a party off of Lisa's.
Okay.
I'm going to post later in the party all about the host benefits, but just so you know, hosts always get free product, up to 5 items at 50% off. And then every month we have a host special at 60% off. So keep that in mind during Lisa's party to know that you have the opportunity to get what you want for free.
Yeah, okay.
Believe me, it works because lately, I don't know what it is, but the next day I have been getting people say, give me a date.
Yeah.
Because they already know from looking that all the things they want, they're not going to be able to afford. You know, it's way beyond their budget. So yeah, that was the purpose of that, is plant the booking seed at the beginning of the party. Yep. So how'd it go on the 25 two-way contacts? Did you guys work on those?
I did.
Yeah, starting. I'm a little behind, but I'm doing it.
It takes a while to get in the routine because you don't know how much time it takes, but working towards it is exactly what we're looking for. Any questions from last week? I don't know if you guys watched any or listened to any of the recordings that I posted on bookings.
Oh, no, not yet.
I watched one of them.
Okay. So any questions in general? You know, what worked, what didn't work? No?
No, I'm still working on them.
Cool.
I'm wearing it down.
Cool. We chatted about this before. Like I said, this is a practice forum, and you mentioned it, Aggie, that, and I do this too, I go live 3 times on my parties. I do the welcome video the night before, and then I midweek on Wednesday evening I do a check-in, real quick check-in, just to say, hey guys, just so you know, there's 48 hours left in the party, because a lot of people get into it and they don't pay attention to the day and they don't remember what day is the end of the party. So I say, you guys have 48 hours to get your orders in, which means if you're thinking of, and this is the actual words I use, if you're thinking about getting an order in, now is the time to seriously start thinking about getting those orders in. And from Wednesday night then to Friday afternoon, orders come in, because people say, oh, okay, I guess I better do that. And then I try to sneak in a sincere close, which is what we're going to talk about today. So one of the things, we are going to talk about recruiting today, but something I want to chat about before we get into the recruiting is, if you have not done so, start thinking about your goals and your vision of where you want to be it growing a team, being a director. I want to make $3,000 a month. Start setting your goals and make them hairy, scary, big, because making little goals isn't going to make you stretch. And like I said last week, you want to stretch to get there. I was there once, you know, it's kind of like once you get there and get in the routine, it becomes much, much easier. So one of the things that you have access to, if you guys don't know where to find this, is if you go to on Consultants Corner, click Explore, and then in the dash box, it'll say, in the training box, it'll say Dash Resource Library. And when you click that, there is a whole ton of PDFs in there. And one of them is this career plan chart. And I have this taped on my wall because 4 years doing this, you know, day in, day out, I still have to refer to it when I'm chatting with people about what requirements are, okay? But you want to set your goal. And for example, if you want director, you're going to want to be looking at this. And it's even good to put your goal date on it when you want to hit it by, and know what your requirements are so you can kind of check them off. Aggie, you and I chatted earlier about that. Directorship, I call it putting the puzzle together, because the qualifying month is, you have all these pieces. You know, you've got your personal sales, you've got your team sales you've got to look at, you've got your 5 people that each need to have at least 150, and that's only in the qualifying month. Once you qualify director, you don't need those 5 people to be active every month, as long as you meet the sales goals for you personally, which is 750, and for the team, which is 5,000. A new director, typically, you know, we'll get all 5, because there's ways. Let's say you have 3 really good consultants under you that are consistent, but those other 2 are wishy-washy. Definitely want to talk to your director, because there are ways to get those other 2 qualified. Okay. And there's your director and hire out there. We want you to promote, and we will get them qualified one way or another. I know sometimes people need that 5th person. They've got their 4, they've got the numbers, but they need that 5th person. Husbands make great recruits, believe it or not. And, you know, you sign them up, you put one of your parties under them, they've got their 150, boom, there's your 5th person.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's a lot of little tips and tricks, okay? But you need to set that goal, set that vision. And if you're new, you want to make sure that you have this close by too, so that you get all your perks. This is good because subconsciously it gets you to building a team.
Yeah.
To get, if you want to maximize all your perks, because in your first, right now, 120 days, when you bring on somebody new, when they qualify with their first 1,250, you get 50 PC dollars. But if you're in your first 120 days, you also get $100 cash. You know, that adds up. And it's those little things that add up. One of the things, as you start progressing, home office has trainings. One of the first things they ask you to start thinking about is doing a vision board. I was like, a vision board, seriously? Back when I was first asked to do it. Some of these people are computer whizzes. They can go on Canva, PicMonkey, all these programs. They can whip out this really beautiful thing. And I'm like, I don't even know the first thing about it. So I had the poster board way back in the day. Wasn't that long ago, actually. When I promoted, or when I recruited my first person, she's still on the team, Sherry. And I said, let's come up with a team name, you and I. And we came up, and Aggie, you may have been here over the changeover, but we were called the Kitchen Witches.
Yeah.
And I had kettles with witches. And we went with that for a long time, but then what happened is we started growing and we started getting guys in the group, and I'm thinking, okay, witches and warlocks. And then I'm like, and I'm getting deeper in the trainings with home office, starting to focus more. And that's when I came up with Dream Achievers and changed the name to Dream Achievers. So you need to start thinking about that in your head. Okay, if you want to be director, you're going to need your 5 people. You know, come up with your vision board with kind of like the banner on Dream Achievers. Or if Kyle, I have no idea what Tammy's banner is, but take a look at that.
Yeah.
And come up with your own vision of what you want. Okay, so recruiting. Your goal should be 2 new team members a month. And that, I'm going to explain some ways to get that where you're not spending extra time, where you're not stressed out over it. When I joined, I had no intention of recruiting whatsoever. My whole purpose of joining was simply to buy stuff at a discount and maybe do a party here and there. Seriously. Then what happened, and it will happen to you guys, is all of a sudden you'll open an email and say, congratulations on your new team member. And you're like, what? Because if you're doing a party, people will go in and they will sign up under you. In this case, Sherry was my first recruit. She was a host on a party. And with just subconsciously, I said, oh my gosh, you would be so good at doing this. Why aren't you a consultant? And she signed up after her party. Okay, she's still with me, still awesome. But all of a sudden, you start having people under you. And then you're thinking, I got to rethink what's going on here, because I promoted to senior consultant, then I promoted to team leader. And before I knew it, I had 5 people under me, and I'm like, okay, I'm so close, I might as well go for it. And I made sure all the puzzle pieces were together. And it just kind of kept going from there. I did not do it intentionally, but you can do it intentionally. Now I do it, and most of my recruits every month come unintentionally. If I'm kind of lacking, in other words, if I've got one and I want one more, I'm going to have to be more intentional about getting that one more. But I don't like the word recruiting. I just hate it. To me, I don't know. It seems like we've got to go beat the bushes and we have to go find people. I like saying I will offer the opportunity of being a consultant to anyone and chat with them about it. Because to me, recruiting is about me, and it's not about me. Okay. When I say I offer the opportunity, meaning I want to explain to people what's in it for them. If you make it about you, it won't work. You've got to think what's in it for them. They don't know what to ask you because they have no clue. So one of the things you can do is share your story. You know, how did you come to be a consultant? If they're on Facebook a lot, you can ask them, hey, by chance, are you on Facebook every day? And a lot of people go, oh yeah, all the time. It's like, well, you want to get paid for doing that? And they'll say, oh, how do I do that? If you have a killer host, that's engaged and chatting with people and interactive, it takes on average 5 asks to get a person to sign up. Sometimes it's 1 ask, sometimes it's 6. But you want to ask the host the host coaching call, and I'm going to go over that with you. See how they are in the party and give them praise and kudos in Messenger. Say, oh my gosh, you're a rock star at this. You could be getting a paycheck and doing this. You want to remind them of the credit coupon when you close out the party. And some people, they just say, hey, it's not really my time right now. Ask them permission to keep them in the loop on if they want to stay in the loop on any new consultant specials that might be coming up. It used to be we had these specials every single month. Now we don't, and we don't know until the first of the month if we're going to have one. But by asking permission, if we get a killer deal like a $39 kit or a $40 kit or a kit rebate, you've got a list of people, notebook, you're first of the month, you're going to be sending all those people the new consultant information. I do get a lot of people that way as well. Just like I mentioned last week of keeping a notebook with your 25 and two-way contacts for booking. This week, you want to start a second notebook for potential team members, people you've talked to, hosts, etc. I've got some right here. It's just, I call it my lead card. It's my monthly lead card. Anybody I talk to that says, oh, I might be interested, or, we'll talk more about it, etc. I have them written down, and I know to follow up with them. And if it's something I've got to put them in my other book to contact the first of every month if we have a special, then they're right there for me to do so. One of the things too is, and I had this mindset when I joined, I thought, oh, Meg, if somebody comes on my team, I have no clue how to train them or how to turn them into a consultant. We did not have all the trainings that we do now for new consultants. But what you do is we have access to a lot of trainings now. We get them involved, and your director will work with, if you want to be involved with working with that new recruit, we'll get your new team member up and running. Mm-hmm. Okay, so don't think the burden is on you to get somebody up and running. Okay. So you've got to always keep, when I said last week about keeping your booking antenna up, you want to keep your recruiting or your opportunity antenna up. People who need money, so a lot of people lost jobs because of this COVID. If you know any, say, hey, I've got a great opportunity for you I'd love to talk to you about. It's so flexible, it could be temporary until you find something, or it may turn into a full-time gig for you. You just never know. College students are always looking for extra income, or maybe somebody who just graduated high school and is kind of in limbo and needs some extra funds. Parents who have kids in daycare, a lot of moms would rather be home working with their kids than not having to pay daycare. That's a great one. Hosts, guests, anybody, seasonal workers such as teachers. There's some school districts where teachers are off for the summer and they don't get paid. Teachers are great because during the school year they can have as long as they get 150 in every 6 months, they're still active. Then when school's out, they ramp up their business so that they can get a paycheck over the summer. Okay. So on the 5 asks, Tammy, for example, she was a 6 asker. She was booked off a party that I did, one of her friends did. Awesome host. In fact, this was 2-3 years ago, it just blew me away. And I kept saying, oh my gosh, you just would be so awesome at this. And even the Kit credit coupon, I can't even remember if she used it or not, but she finally said yes. Mm-hmm. And I wish she were on here to give a testimonial of, what was it because I know she's got a full-time job, and she does Pampered Chef, the flexibility of it. And that little bit of extra income allows her to do some extra things with the family that normally she may not be able to do. But the host coaching call is the #1 way I personally get recruits. And again, it's all about planting the seed. When I do my host coaching call, I kind of have 3 segments to it. The first one is going over, telling the host to get their wish list done. Then I have the papers with the monthly host special paperclip together. And the very last one is the opportunity brochure that everybody got in their starter kit. And that if you're running out, you should order on supply. And I actually fold that opportunity brochure. So I don't have one on my desk at the moment, but where the picture of the kits is on the outside, I just invert it so that when the host gets to it, they see that picture. Okay. And when I get to that point, it's about 3 minutes, and I say the last piece of paper in your bundle is what we call an opportunity brochure that talks about the opportunity of being a Pampered Chef consultant, of which all that is required is the purchase of one of the 3 kits that you see pictured there. Right below the kits, you'll see an orange banner, and that is what we call a kit credit coupon, meaning hosts can use $25 or $50 of their host rewards towards the purchase of one of these kits. So for example, if you use $50 towards the $99 kit, you're paying $49 for that kit. Then this is what I say and how I say it. I say, now I have no clue if you're interested at all in being a consultant. That is not the purpose of this call tonight. However, is that something that might interest you? And then I zip my mouth and I listen, because intuitively, and your gut's going to tell you, or just from the words they say, if it's a flat out, very strong no, thank you, fine, I move on to the Facebook portion of my call. If it's, I don't know, you know, and usually they'll ask a couple of questions, etc., and you kind of go from there, how it works. And if they're the least bit interested, I say, yeah, you know, when we get bookings off of your party, they'll be your parties and get you off to a strong start. That usually sets the hook, because a lot of people ask, or a lot of people, potential people say, I don't know how to find people. It's a common objection, you know, I don't know how to find hosts. Well, what if you sign up and we just got 4 bookings off your party? Those are now yours. And then you're going to get bookings off of those. And it kind of spider webs out from there. That makes them a lot more comfortable. Plus, you know, I explain to them, we give you lots of different ways and tips and tricks on how to get bookings. Another common objection is they'll say, I'm not a salesperson. And the first thing I say is, neither am I. What happens is our products sell themselves. We've been here for 40 years. The guests in your party is your sales team. Because I'm sure you guys have noticed, you post about the Mix and Chop and somebody says, oh my gosh, it's the greatest tool on earth. Somebody will say, well, a brand new person not familiar with it, well, what is it? What does it do? All of a sudden, the guests in the party are going back and forth on all these ideas about the Mix and Chop. You've not said a word. And 5 of these people have bought the Mix and Chop. And live shows, it's the same way. Same way. You pull something up and somebody will say, oh my gosh, that's great. And then somebody else will ask. It's like the guests at the party are the ones that sell the products. One of the other things too is in the party, you always want to have a post. I do it the very last day of the party. The Ask Me Anything About My Business post. And I always post the kit flyer that shows the picture of the 3 kits. And there's the back of the opportunity brochure as well that I post there. And I say, ask me anything, nothing is off limits. Hosts are able to get a kit, one of these 3 kits for $25 or $50 off. You want to make sure that you respond to those comments and check in on them in a timely manner. Because if you go 10 hours and not respond, or a day and not respond, they're going to think that, oh, why did she ask this? She must not really mean it. That's important to people, is how fast you respond to comments on parties. It drives me nuts when I'm doing a show-based training and I see you know, a game, for example, and the consultant doesn't check in for 3 days on a game, you know, and that's not even to do with products or getting recruits, okay? And when you do your Google Forms, if you're responsive on your party, you'll get the comments. You know, great interaction. You're quick to answer, and that's kind of nice when you hear comments like that.
Mhm.
Then, if somebody keeps asking questions or you can tell they're interested, I always friend them and message them on Messenger and say, hey, you know, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Now, you may or may not know, in the units on Dream Achievers, there is the Everything You Want to Know About Being a Pampered Chef Consultant group. And that group link is in the units on Dream Achievers. You can click it. If you're not a member, you can ask to join and I will immediately approve you. All that is in that group is a video that I did that I do on our opportunity events that explains all the ins and outs of being a consultant. It literally will answer 99.9% of every question somebody could ask about being a consultant. So if you get somebody that's interested, I always ask, hey, I've got a Facebook group I can invite you to. It's got a video in it that answers literally every question you can think of. Would you be interested? You know, I'll be happy to invite you to watch it, and then you can let me know and we can chat more from there. Typically, I've seen once they watch that video, they sign up because they have no more questions. That video pretty much answers everything. So remember that you have that tool and that resource for people. If you're new and you get somebody that starts asking questions, again, you can talk about the Everything You Want to Know group. But if you don't know the answers to the questions, simply be honest with them. Just say, hey, you know, I'm new myself and I'm absolutely loving this. I don't know the answer to that question or these questions. Do you mind if I get my director real quick on Messenger and she can answer those questions because she knows the answers? It used to be we said set up a 3-way call with your director. Well, to me, that's uncomfortable. When you've got somebody that is kind of like thinking about joining, you don't want to go up to them and say, hey, let's schedule a 3-way call with my director. She can answer everything for you. Because to me, what that does, it tells that new person, uh-oh, here they come after me. They're bringing the big guns in to talk me into signing up. I don't want to do that to people. I would rather you just say, hey, you know, I'm new, I don't know the answer, but I can push a button on Messenger and ask my director, whether you type it out, whether you hit video, and it's like, hey, Kyle, what can I help you with? Oh, I'm talking to Sally, and she has this question, because we want to make them comfortable, okay? That's I love the culture in this group. We are not high pressure whatsoever. I know a couple of directors, not associated with us, who are very high pressure. Oh my gosh. It's just amazing. Just amazing. I can't believe how these people are even in the business. So if you're doing live parties, you want to invite people to watch what you do and say, hey, if you think you can do what I'm doing here tonight, and you want to get paid for it, be out for a couple of hours, one night a week. Let's talk after the party. One of the things that really helps in the party, as we chatted about, showing your face so people know you. I've been doing videos for 2 years now. My first 2 years, I did not, because like I said, I swore I would never go live in a Facebook party, let alone post a video. I saw an immediate increase in the sales and interaction in my parties. Right, and especially now, because online parties are everywhere. It's like the norm, and it's not just Pampered Chef, it's every other direct selling company out there. Everybody knows about online parties. the more unique that you can make the party and more personable, the better the party is going to be. Because if you're just posting stuff and people don't get to know you, you know, they've been to other types of parties, they're going to rate you against Tupperware, Scentsy, whatever type of party, paparazzi, you name it. One of the things I love is opening up the Google Forms and getting comments. This is the best online party I've ever been to. That tells me right there I am doing something right in my parties, because I know these people are seeing other parties. And that's why I want to try to teach you guys, you know, what I'm doing to have this type of success. And you two are on it. It's the people who aren't here, hint, hint, those watching the recording. So the other, one other thing that I get from people that are considering about joining is they're looking at other companies and trying to make a decision which company they want to join, because you know, they like Pampered Chef, they like Tupperware, they like Scentsy, and they're trying to figure out, you know, what would be my best move for me. All the answers to that question is in that Everything You Want to Know About Being a Pampered Chef Consultant video. But one, we have no quotas. And I tell people, I usually tell hosts that on the host call, if they're the least bit interested, I say, you know, one thing, we don't have any quotas whatsoever. Because right there, that takes the pressure off of them. Okay. They know they don't have to perform, so to speak. They can build up to whatever they want to do with the flexibility. The only out-of-pocket expense is the starter kit. If it's a company that wants $3,000 to $10,000 for them to get into, that's MLM, multi-level marketing. They're making money off the consultants and not their products. That should raise a red flag right there to anyone who wants to join one of those. We've been here for 40 years. That's a pretty strong statement in and of itself. We have all the training and support you need. And the one thing I like the most that usually sets the hook is the reason I personally joined Pampered Chef is we provide mainly kitchen items that make life in the kitchen so much easier. Yes, we have other items that, you know, go with outside. But the thing is, every house, apartment, RV has a kitchen. Every human has to cook and eat in some form or another. Whether you just dump a can of soup in a bowl and put it in the microwave, we've got bowls for that. Whether you like to go and cook all your meals on the barbecue, we've got stuff for that. Whether you want to use, you know, the air fryer or the oven, the stovetop. And people like go, oh yeah, I'm like, if you were standing on a mountain looking over the city, how many kitchens are there? You know, look at all the kitchen stuff people have. You know, does everybody have candles? Does everybody like the smell of that? Does everybody wear makeup or lipstick? You know, there goes your focus. You know, we provide, as I say, we provide a necessity, not a want. A smelly candle is not a necessity. Cooking food or preparing food is a necessity. That is usually my hook line. And people say, yep, I mean, how can I go wrong with that? So I already talked about having a second notebook now. I tend to do this all the time. I don't even know why I have notes. I get to talking and I look down and it's like, I've already talked about that. Make sure though that any potential interest that you follow up on a monthly basis, send them the new consultant special. Personally, my feeling is we probably won't see one for July just because of the distribution center getting up and running, because I don't know if you guys heard when I was talking about this, we're literally doubling our distribution center with all those conveyors and everything and all that equipment, and it'll be up and running by the end of July. I mean, we're having a hard time getting stuff out the doors now with this COVID and everything, but I would suspect come August, if not definitely September, we're going to see a killer new consultant deal. Be on the lookout too for people in the parties that say, I want everything in the catalog. I am a Pampered Chef junkie. I will buy it up. I've got one gal now. She's been for the last 4 years in a party here and there, and she hosted 3 months ago. I got 8 or 9 parties booked off for hers. She is literally spending $400 at every single party because she's totally redoing her entire kitchen. And I'm just like, be a consultant, sign up, you know? Oh, I do 31. And then she messaged me. It's like, how do you have the success you do with having party after party? Because every week I have 2 parties going that are booked off of hers. I'm just like, well, join my team. You'll have that success too. But anybody who says they want everything, they love Pampered Chef, that right there should be one that you want to chit chat with. And one thing I recently learned from a national exec that really resonated with me, flat out invite somebody to join your team. Just don't say, hey, would you be interested in being a consultant, or do you want to hear more about it? Say, I'm really looking for some people like you that love everything in the catalog. You can get it from 20 to 50% off. Would you like to join my team? And I've had pretty good success with that. They'll say, well, what's in it for me, or what's it all about? And I'm like, boy, that was easy. I never thought about just flat out asking people to join my team. I thought I was going to have to try to schmooze them and talk them into it. Keep it simple, sister. Just flat out invite them. And then you can get into all the fact consultants never pay full price, which is usually what they like to hear if they want the whole catalog, that we get to earn free product every single month. And then the new consultant rewards. We've got so many rewards now. It's so hard to keep track of them all. And then plus FedEx is always showing up with stuff at your door. And then if you get the question, because usually to ask me any question, you'll get, what's your favorite product or what's your favorite item in the catalog? The starter kit. Because it's a great deal and it's a great opportunity. So just to go over the rewards for you, when you bring somebody onto your team, I mentioned this just a little bit ago, you get the 50 PC dollars. If you're in your first 120 days, you get the $100 cash. You're going to get the overrides on any sales from that person. The overrides are set out on this career chart list. You're going to get a promotion, a title promotion. When your new team member turns in their first $1,250, you also get 3,000 incentive trip points, which is the hugest chunk of points you can get for earning a trip. And anyone who goes on the trips, that's where most of their points come from, is qualifying new people. What I have another card. These are just 4x5 cards. And I don't know if you can see this, but this is January, and I write down January, February, March, who signed up in the month, and then the highlighted ones are the ones who have hit their $1,250, and I know to watch out for my 50 PC dollars. These 3 here have parties going now, and I know they're going to qualify, but I'm counting my trip points, okay? I want to go to the Bahamas and sit on a sandy beach and drink umbrella drinks. Plus, if you're brand new, you have the fast track up to $3,000 in cash. Several of our directors and Dream Achievers are fast track directors. They've got their $500 for hitting directorship. You get $500 when you maintain that for 3 months on up. And then again, that's what this one goes over, all the money you can get. I like the other one better. To me, this is a little bit confusing, but anyway. The other thing too is sometimes people have financial concerns. They may say, I'd love to, but I don't even have the $99 right now to do it if we don't have a kit special going on. Let them know we get paid twice a month, And chances are, depending where, when you're talking, if I tell my new people that are having trouble coming up with the money, I said, let's get your launch party scheduled now. You sign up, we'll immediately start your launch party before your kid even arrives, which it'll arrive in about 4 to 5 days. And then depending where that falls on the calendar, if they're going to get their paycheck on the 7th or the 21st. And then I actually show them on a calendar, when does your credit card statement come? And inevitably, almost every single time, their paycheck is going to be in their bank before the credit card statement comes, where they have to pay it for their starter kit. So that's something to think of too. Okay, 45 minutes, cool. So homework this week is going to be a 10-minute check-in call, 10-minute check-in chat with your director or me. And I say that preferably your own personal director, but I know, I get it. Some people, some directors aren't, whatever the case may be. I'm here if your director isn't. Keep up the 25 two-way chats for bookings. And this week, start your 5 two-way chats for new team members, offering the opportunity to people. And keep in mind, every host call, because you're going over that opportunity brochure that's in the host packet, that's one of your 5 contacts. And if the host talks to you about it, that counts as a two-way contact. And any guests on parties that have responded to that, ask me a question that you've chit-chatted with, that counts as well. Okay, so that's not a real hard one. What did I just write there? Oh, I just did that twice. Start incorporating, if you haven't done so already, the opportunity discussion in your host coaching calls that I just went over in 3 minutes. That's all it takes up time in my host coaching call. And then that's where I'm looking at my lead list, because I want their name on my lead list. I want a host on that list because I know they're going to sign at the end of their party. And then post either a mid-party or a party end sincere close video where you're talking about where you're offering the opportunity to people. Mary Haynes, our previous executive director, she was really good at this. In fact, I'll see if I can find one of her videos and post it. She would do this at the close of every party. She goes, and she could look really serious. She goes, I don't know what your situation is, whether you're struggling to make the house payment or your car needs repairs and it's sitting there dead, or you just need some extra cash, or you want to take the family out to dinner. But I can show you some easy ways to get some income in. And this business is a life changer. I mean, personally, I was totally fine with my career. This was just going to be a side hobby for me. And now I'm semi-retired doing this. And it still blows my mind. I mean, I recently promoted again two months ago, and pretty much promotion, your paycheck is literally going to at least double. And it's really starting to blow my mind now, because I've been to a lot of home office seminars where we've got, the big executive directors and, all that. And they're always posting the paycheck chart where, some of these are getting $15,000 a month. Some of them are getting $45,000 a month. Some of them are getting $150,000 a month. And you're just like, yeah, right. Okay. That'll be me in 20 years, right? It's happening a lot quicker than I ever thought it could. And it can happen to you guys too. I mean, this was not my intent. It wasn't until things kind of flowed that I'm like, okay, I've got this seed now. How can I nurture it and make it grow? And that's where we are now. And we're so close to being an executive team. Just like a couple of years ago, I'm sitting there at home office looking at these rock stars, in Pampered Chef. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in the same room with these people. It's just kind of an amazing experience, amazing ride. So anyway, any questions? No. Did you guys learn anything?
Yeah.
Did I give you any tidbits?
I
Okay.
did.
Okay, because I was ready to click the X and knock you out of the meeting if you shook your head no. But okay, gang. Well, if you do have any questions, yell. Or if you kind of think of anything that, you know, I need more information on this, feel free to
I
ask.
have one question, but it's not related to this.
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
Mini catalogs that came out,
Uh-huh.
are they like back ordered or something?
No, they are not back ordered. In fact, I have good news on that. I was going to post it yesterday and I didn't. So, as we know, the shipping delays. Okay. Well, same time frame as guest orders. Okay. So you can expect I've been getting everything in 4 weeks. Home office is saying 6 to 8 weeks. I've been getting things in 4 weeks. So you can expect that time frame on the catalogs. However, home office, I think it was just this morning, it may have been yesterday morning's update, because there's a lot of consultants. It's like, okay, this stuff went into effect June 1st and we don't have it to give to our customers. So as home office puts it, okay, distribution center, do we want to focus on getting orders out to our guests, or do we want to focus on getting paperwork to consultants, because we have the links to the online catalogs that we can give to people.
Right.
Okay, even your own website, people can go there, because when they go down and click Shop Interactive Catalog, it'll give them the new summer mini catalog, it'll give them the full-size catalog. People can still see those. Granted, some people want the paper catalog. So when you balance it, home office has been weighing in, let's get the stuff to our customers. But they did say they're going to do a push on getting a lot of the supplies out to the consultants that have been waiting. Because I think I ordered my mini catalogs the first part of May, and I haven't seen.
I ordered them the day you said they were available, which was I think it was the 5th or the 6th of May.
I was just going to say that, yeah. But when they put it in that perspective, yeah, they're right.
Yeah.
And thankfully, in one respect too, we only have the one item, the dessert skillets. That's our only new item for that came out June 1st, unlike other launches where we may have 15 or 20 items.
Right.
I'd probably be pitching more of a fit if that were the case. We've got the summer special posts and marketing imagery that we can post in the parties, but that makes sense. We kind of get set in our ways on how we do things. So it gives them, give them an old mini catalog with your website and say, hey, if you want to see the new one, go to my website and you can see it.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
But I had ordered the catalogs, and then I had ordered a replacement for my manual food chopper, the blade.
Mhm.
It was dull after all these years.
We have a blade sharpener for that.
I know, I don't have one right yet. I'm working on it. I'm almost there.
But rather than buy a new one, you can buy the blade sharpener and sharpen the blades of your existing one.
Yeah, that's true.
In fact, that's one of the things today, it just happened on one of my parties. I don't know if you guys do this, but the first morning of the party, I do a roll call post where, hey, tell us your name, how do you know the host, and are you new to Pampered Chef, whatever. Anybody who posts says, I love the food chopper, the manual food processor, I always comment, because Facebook wants to see sentences on responses, comments to boost the posts. I say, oh, by the way, did you know that we have a blade sharpener for the blades on your food chopper? Because some people say, I've had this thing for 20 years and I still use it. Mm-hmm. And when I mention the blade sharpener, 9 times out of 10, they'll say, oh my gosh, no. Boom, you see it in a cart. Mm-hmm. You have just sold a product. And if you've sold 3 of those, and the same with the manual food processor. And the other thing with the food chopper too is a lot of times the gal will say, well, I've got to buy a new one because my husband's smashed it too hard. And the clear collar on it is the thing that typically cracks first or breaks on them because guys will hit it too hard on a hard surface. I say, you don't have to buy a new one. We have the collars. And I do a screenshot, you know, of the online item with the item number and the price. And they're like, oh my God, well, I'm going to buy a second one anyway, but I'll also buy the replacement collar. It's like 2 minutes into the party, you've already been making sales.
Yeah.
I mentioned this one host that had 8 or 9 parties booked off and she's spending like $400 a party. I typically will run my basic party template for 3 months with slight changes here and there. It's not identical, but some slight changes. Because she messaged me, she goes, you know, oh, how often do you change up your parties? And I go, pretty much as needed. If I see the same people over and over again, I'm going to throw in all new stuff, obviously. But she goes, well, I noticed on your magic word videos, every single party, you do these 2 magic word videos, but you also will throw in different ones here and there. She goes, why don't you do something different than the garlic press and the can opener? I said, because every time I do one of those, I sell at least 4 in a party, and that's $100 right there for the host. And it's just giving them the next level of host rewards. And she goes, that's literally, we were on video. She goes, I never thought of it that way. I said, yeah, you know, you and some of these other core friends, yes, have been to these parties before, but the lion's share of guests haven't. And they haven't been exposed to the garlic press or the can opener. I know you guys are getting bored of seeing that video 3 times every single week, but I'm doing this to help the host get rewards. And sure enough, on the orders, I'll just start seeing a whole bunch of can openers going on or garlic presses. And when I explain it that way, that, hey, I'm doing my job for the host, then they're like, oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, gang, let me knock off the record here. Stop recording.